Hey everyone, my name is Sarah Stanley. For my personal growth project this semester, I decided to learn how to make gnocchi, and I'm so excited to share this with you all. So without further ado, we'll get started. So I would first like to start off by explaining why I chose to make gnocchi. My initial thought was to learn how to make pasta. I've always loved to cook, and it's meant a lot to me because I've grown up in the kitchen with my grandmother, so it's got a lot of sentimental value. But pasta and bread have always just kind of scared me. They're very meticulous, and I really wanted to be challenged this semester and to really improve my skill set in the kitchen. So when it came to choosing a mentor for this project, I knew just who to pick. Her name is Anna Capelli, and she's honestly been such a wonderful mentor throughout this whole semester in this process. She's an alum of my sorority, so I've known her for the past 2 years, and I knew that personal relationship would allow her to be very comfortable and open with working with me, and she would also feel able to provide criticisms at the necessary times. So Anna was definitely not shy on giving me feedback so I could grow. I made it very clear to her in the beginning that this was a necessary part in her role as my mentor. So for example, the first batch of gnocchi, it was very potatoey and it wasn't quite as firm, and it had a weird texture to it. It tasted great, but it just wasn't quite the gnocchi that you find in the stores, and she told me that it's really important to mash your gnocchi really, really well, so it's one firm, it's not, it doesn't have those potato clumps in it, and she recommended using like a potato masher, using your hands, and also using a fork, and just really taking your time to make sure that the mix itself is the correct texture. So I definitely took that into account whenever I moved forward in this project, and I worked on it my second time. I was able to alter my technique and the style that I did previously to make something that was more proper in her eyes, and so her feedback definitely helped me in honing in on my skill and figuring out what worked and what didn't. She gave me the necessary skills in order to be successful in my pursuit of learning how to make gnocchi, and now I definitely feel a lot more comfortable with doing it in the kitchen all by myself, which is something that I really looked forward to gaining. And now that I'm at the end of the semester, I'm able to say that I can do this, and it's because of her mentorship and my ability to step outside of my comfort zone that allowed me these opportunities. So one of the coolest parts about this project is that as the semester went on and we learned in class, felt as though I was able to apply and connect a lot of the content to my actions. So for example, in this project, I was able to learn a new skill. One of my 5 strengths is learner, but the contingency with that is that in order for me to benefit from learning, it has to be something that I'm really interested in, because if it's not, then it doesn't really stick with me. Cooking is something that I am very passionate about, and I have been for a really long time. It's something that I just honestly purely enjoy. I love watching tasty videos on Facebook and really building my skill, and so learning how to make gnocchi has been a wonderful opportunity to learn, and it just goes to show just how innate and true that your Clifton strengths are to your personality. And although I kind of was aware of this before, the Clifton Strengths test allowed me to be more aware and understand how to harness these strengths to the best of my abilities. So the next connection I would like to make to course content regards resilience muscles and specific experimentation. This whole project for me was one big experiment. It was an opportunity to really go through the process, figure out what did work, what didn't work, how can I do better next time, and I really apply those changes in the second time that I was able to actually make the gnocchi and notice the changes So having the opportunity to intentionally work on and experiment, I was able to build my resilience muscles because this is something that I'm able to work on, and resilience is something that you can build, and you're not able to build and harness those muscles unless you actually use them and you're engaging in activities that contribute to their growth. So this entire personal growth project, for me at least, allowed me to really build my resilience muscle of experimentation, and now I feel more comfortable with the process, and I feel more comfortable with actually engaging in things that I don't really know what the outcome could be. When it comes to trying something new, it can not only be scary, but it can be really difficult to achieve. It takes a lot of motivation and accountability in order to get something done and achieve a goal that you've set for yourself. At the beginning of the semester, I made the goal of learning how to make gnocchi, and here I am at the end of the semester, and I'm able to say that I was actually able to successfully accomplish that goal. This came from an intrinsic motivation that was within me. I've always loved to cook. I've talked about that a lot, but I really mean it. It's got a lot of sentimental value for me because of the memories and the connection that it has had in my life. And so I made this goal specifically just to learn a new skill to please myself. I wasn't extrinsically motivated by money or power or any other people. It was solely for an action that I could engage in to bring satisfaction and pleasure into my life. And now I'm able to connect with my friends because I had them come over and we would eat together, and it was so much fun figuring that out in the process. But motivation was something that really motivated me throughout. As I briefly mentioned earlier in my conversations with Anna, I told her that I really wanted her feedback and it was necessary in order for her to agree to be my mentor. So the next connection of the course content that I would like to make is through feedback and just the importance of it, not only in your role as a leader, but as just your role in daily life. It can be really difficult to hear and accept sometimes, but it's a necessity in order to achieve the growth that you want to achieve. In this personal growth project specifically, her feedback was necessary to my success. It greatly contributed to my abilities on doing well and actually making delicious edible gnocchi. So her critiques and suggestions, they allowed me to grow and perform better because she provided insights that I didn't necessarily think of. And she was able to point out things, and I was able to specifically work on those things the second time that I tried it. So this experience allowed me to be more open and to applying feedback that is given to me. So one of the final connections that I would like to make to our course content regards the important distinction between groups and teams. I would definitely say that Anna and I were more of a team this past semester. For example, we followed the discuss, decide, do model that we discussed in class. At the beginning of the semester when I approached her about being my mentor, we discussed our options, and then we decided what to do, and then we actually did it. And now I'm at the end of the semester and I'm able to hold on to something very tangible, and it's because we were able to collaborate, we were able to communicate, and those two characteristics allowed us to be more of a team as opposed to a group. So all in all, this project has been so much fun, and this allowed me to learn a lot more about myself, not only as a leader, but as a chef. Throughout the last 3 months, I feel as though I've solidified many of the things that I previously believed, such as cooking. I've always enjoyed it, but I think that this really opened my eyes to what I'm able to accomplish in the kitchen, and it shows me that I don't need to necessarily stay in that place where I'm hesitant, and I need to be more willing to try new things because I am very capable of achieving things if I'm willing to set my mind to it. My passion extends a lot deeper than I thought, so it's really exciting to explore that and come to that realization for myself, and this project allowed me the opportunity to do that, and I look forward to further pursuing that in the future. Connectedness is also one of my values, and I want to point that out because this project allowed me to connect with other people when they came to gather with me, to work with me, and to try my food. Before I chose this project, I was actually really hesitant to work on it, but now that I am at the end of the semester and I'm able to reflect on just how far I've come, it's really important to note just how important it is as a leader and just a person in life 2 steps outside of your comfort zone. I feel like oftentimes you can get really weighed down by the negatives that kind of pop up in your brain. They tell you, you can't do this, don't apply for that, don't, try this new thing. But once I overcame all of those negative barriers, I was able to accomplish something really great. And it's really exciting to kind of sit back now and reflect on that, because many people oftentimes get stuck in that space where they can't do anything, and then they lack the opportunity to really learn and grow. So I'm really thankful that I've had the opportunity to learn and grow this semester.